This is us. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, please,
Scan in.
please, 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 please.
Will you look back when you're old and grey and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
Time for Thematically Speaking, episode 53. We're getting old. But first off, before we bring the guest on, it's time again for another joke of the week. So let's have it.
How do vampires start a letter?
I don't know, Darcy. How do vampires start a letter?
To whom it may concern.
That was Coast Some of the Joneses. If you ever watch that back, the look on his face when she says the punchline is the look on Andy's face is brilliant. But links will be in the description. But without any further ado, we're going to bring on Ben Hughes from the Hush Hush family. How you doing, Ben?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we're going to have to. We joked about this. We joked about this before I met you actually, but we know a lot of people called Ben. We started assigning them numbers.
Yeah, I know.
And I've got a brother called Ben, and he's got like the last number. He's not even high up on the list. How you doing anyway?
I'm alright, yeah, not bad.
Yeah, what I'll do first, I'll do this for everyone. It's about 2 minutes long. I've got a highlights video where I've got highlights from your YouTube videos, and then we're going to discuss quite a bit of Smiler stuff and quite a bit of other stuff. So I'm going to play this for everyone at home, and then we'll get chatting.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben Hughes. We're the Hush Hush family, and today we're at the Alton Towers Resort for off-peak rides, which is amazing. So sick of queuing. I'm telling you, this is going to be awesome. The vouchers you get. Here's Towers Trading. I'm not going to do it yet. It is some choices. Heading now to We're heading now to an empty Forbidden Forest. We're heading now to an empty Forbidden Forest. We're heading now to an empty Forbidden Valley, as I'm sure everybody already knows, there is no Nemesis this year as it's having its retrack. You're waiting for?
Yeah, half an hour. It's about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. In fact, when we were walking into Forbidden Valley, it said 0 minutes, so it shows how quickly these things can go up. Oh, wow, look at this. Now look at the view, we've got a great view of the walk. Hey, this is the best view we've ever had. With its own TV for the bed, and then you've got your remote, look. Another one there. Repping the Apex merch. Speaking of which, ours will be out soon. Until next time, don't forget to like and
Subscribe.
yeah.
Hey!
You got some really good shots there.
Yeah,
Just
even
so
I
you know.
it's nice to see.
Yeah, it is really
Yeah,
nice.
watching the same thing edited, but I don't watch them again for a while, and that was nice to see.
No?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, hang on. What are you looking for now?
I think I've got the right set.
Oh.
Let's get.
That Smiler Room did.
I want to talk about the Smiler Room first. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of Smiler stuff, I
Yeah.
think. But do you want to tell us about your Smiler Room experience?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we paid something like, I think it was, what was it? I mean, it sounds silly now, but I'm sure it was about 250 quid, right? Now, to all of us out there, including yourself, that probably sounds quite cheap, which is ridiculous, yeah? It's one night, 250 quid. I mean, I suppose for 4 of us, you know, with breakfast, it's not too bad, but really in comparison to the summer where it's more like £500, we jumped for that as a bargain. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the price is one thing, but the room itself, I mean, we do love it. It's definitely us. We love the Smiler. Gio hasn't been on the Smiler, but it's his favourite ride. He loves it. Can't get enough of it.
How far is he from being tall enough?
Yeah, I think now with his, if we had more Heelys, he'd be likely to be about, I think we're at 124 centimetres.
Oh, not
But when I ask him if he'd go on the Smiler now, if he could, he'd say, I think I'm a little bit young. So he knows he needs to be a little bit older, not just taller. Because in fairness, he was still a bit young to go on Wicker Man, really. It was like raw.
How old was he when he went on Wicker Man?
6.
I don't think I would have ridden that at 6.
Brave kid.
So to me, it was like, oh, go on, get on it. But once we got on it, like I was like a nervous dad, you know, because it makes me have my arm around him.
Yeah.
And I think I was more scared than him in that moment. Yeah. Actually, the first time he rode Wicker Man, he didn't want to go back on it for a while, but we got him around to it in the end.
What was he like in the pre-show?
Well, at first, actually, we didn't take him in the pre-show. We chose to ride that one out because we just felt like if that could have been the point where we turned around and it'd have been a shame, you know. So the pre-show, we actually let him. It would ruin the experience for an enthusiast, but for a 6-year-old, it was better for us to sort of get the roller coaster done first and then ask him if he wanted to see a pre-show after, and that worked much better for us anyway.
Oh,
it's quite easy to do then, to ask to skip it. I suppose it is, in a way.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can ask for sensory issues. I mean, that's a part of it. He struggles sometimes with volume and stuff like that as well, believe it or not, even though he's very loud himself. So actually, part of the decision in the first place was because of that as well. But as well, that we didn't want to put it. There was a few reasons, but yeah, so we decided to skip it. And you can just wait it out. But rather than go through, which we had hoped for, of course, we were ready to stay behind and wait until, and then we could go straight through when the pre-show finished, you know, with that same group,
Oh, just to reassure you here, Coasting with the Joneses said Darcy rode Smiler on her 9th birthday last year. The day she hit 1.4 meters, she rode the other big 6 the same day as well. So it's like, I don't know how, obviously.
I don't know if you're planning to stay in the Jumanji room, but Ben and Holly say the Smiler room they preferred to the Jumanji. They've recently gone to the Jumanji suite at Chessington, and they've said they prefer the Smiler room.
I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? All these rooms are exactly the same thing. I just see through it. It's just a decorated travel lodge, isn't it, really? And I hate to be a part of it. That's what it is.
You're going to be really into it. And then
I think some of the other suites are a bit bigger and more extravagant, but the Smiler room, which we love and would stay in again, they're all the same, aren't they? Jumanji, you know, I think maybe it hasn't got CCTV cameras on the wall and big barcodes striped across the ceiling. Sure, it's still just as good, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got any more photos of I want to get the carpet, because the carpet is insane in some photos you get of it. Wow. Did that mess with your head a bit, the carpet?
I think in my younger days, maybe so, but not now.
Oh, wow.
But it did look phenomenal. It's in... I've seen it. Was it separate? Was it a separate vlog just for the room, or did you show it?
Yeah, it was a vlog, sort of hotel vlog, wasn't it? And stuff, we sort of walked around, but it was mainly for the room.
And we got a photo of the water as well, because Gio was really excited about the water when he showed it.
Well, we do, you know, the fair play to both, everybody, really, we choose water, but bottled water, we're like, oh yeah, that's a nice flavoured water. It's ridiculous, really, it doesn't taste much, but it's good that we all like that, yeah? So that's
sparkling.
That fridge, and we were like, oh yes, that's genuine. That is.
Do you prefer sparkling or still?
Oh, I used to love sparkling as a kid. I think I wasn't allowed much pop then, yeah? But no, having choices over what I can drink, I don't drink much of it anymore.
And I'll let people ask about the room if they want to, but I've got that because I want to segue into this.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's a little
do you want to explain to people at home? I've got more photos, but...
Well, of course, with the Smiler being Gio's favourite ride, he was asking for a themed bedroom anyway, so we sort of did our best with the space that we had and sort of decorated it.
Put the cameras.
But there was a limited space. I mean, we would have got that as many cameras as we possibly could, but we were limited with space, you know. And yeah, so I mean, there's lots of stickers. We're waiting for bigger ones. It's sort of midway, but yeah, that's where we're up to with it.
Do you think this will be his? Have you got any idea how much you'll like the ride once he's been on it?
Well, if he's anything like me, I'm pretty sure he's going to love it. Yeah, I honestly think that I would eat my sandwiches on there. Yeah, I think it's no problem. I'd be happy eating my sandwiches going around. But the problem is with me, right, is the walking and the queuing, and the going back round. That it's like I don't know. It's like if it was like you could stay on it and keep going.
Yeah. I prefer the first half to the second half. I don't like the second half of the ride that much.
Yeah, so it's just it all rolls into one, doesn't it? But I think Gio's got he was a little bit nervous at first, but now he's just so eager to get on. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference going on at the next level coasters, especially how you can step up in Alton Towers itself, can't you? So you don't necessarily have to go straight to the Smiler. But actually, funnily enough, Caden, his first roller coaster, which was probably about 2 years ago, I took him straight on Oblivion thinking, let's get the worst one done first, yeah? That worst first feeling that I remember as a kid, because that was taken back is how I felt as a kid with Oblivion, yeah? Doesn't matter how we feel about it now, but how I felt when I'd not seen any other coaster really realistically, when it was getting built and stuff. And finally, when I was told enough to get on it, that feeling was huge. So I thought, we'll get that out of the way first. Well, God, that put him off then. It put him off for about
Oh, really?
a whole season, yeah? Whole season, yeah? That was it then. I've got a picture of him actually.
How did you get him back on them?
We were just consistently going anyway with our passes. We were trying to get there as much as possible to get as much value for money as we could. But we just enjoyed being there anyway, and I'm sure he's got that bug as well because it's a special place to be, isn't it, Alton Towers? But as soon as he got back on roller coasters, that was it. Then we hit it hard, and we got everywhere that we possibly could, Thorpe Park and Drayton Manor and stuff like that. And Flamingo Land this year, of course, and more coming up, and a broad trip booked soon, which I'll talk about at some point.
What's your favourite part of what section of the Smiler, the actual ride?
So do you not have to ask me questions like that?
Because I've actually got a favourite.
I don't know what element. It's the bit that goes like this. Does that help?
That's the bit where it go before it goes during the marmalizer.
I do like that little pop of airtime.
Yeah.
I don't know. It all sort of rolls into one. Yeah. I'll tell you what I like to do on the Smiler when it's about to invert on the bigger loops. I sort of look back and sort of, you know what I mean. I'm watching back. So I sort of suppose the bigger loops where I get moments to sort of know where I am and you know what I mean, where I can actually take it in, because some of it all just rolls into one, doesn't it? But I'm not the sort of person that can sit here saying that element is my favourite, because I'm not good at remembering things.
One of the better rides that used to be able to it was good to put your head back on and look used to be Hex, but that's never really open anymore. You sit there and watch it backwards. It's insane.
Yeah, if you sit on the back row, you're able to.
Oh yeah, on the front row, it would be a bit weird.
On the front one, you kind of like your head's dangling, but you've actually got like a headrest on the back seat for Hex, and then you can actually put your head back and just watch it just move in front, and yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, if anyone wants to go on Hex again and do that, then yeah.
That sticker that's up there now.
Yeah.
Onto the Smiler. Well, we got that done before we even went there. That was meant to be on the back of the blind in the Smiler Room. So we were dead excited to show them it. Pulled down the blind. No longer there. So now it's only used to have it. You see.
That's cool.
What? So is the Smiler your favourite?
No, I don't know. It's a bit like saying a favourite song. Or a favourite food for me. It's hard. I will be able to come up with a favourite, but I don't know if it is in Alton Towers or not. My favourite ride in Alton Towers?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's between Nemesis and the Smiler. But if I went, they're just totally different, aren't they? They're just totally different sorts of rides.
I thought you were going to say Oblivion because you've got quite a soft spot.
Well, no, but Oblivion is my favourite ride secretly. But just don't tell anybody, you know.
Too late now.
That's more of a nostalgia thing. That's more because I remember it being built. I do remember it, but not proper remember it. I think a lot of my memories come from pictures as well as having seen it, because we didn't go that often as a kid. I think it was more like once a year, you know. But I was very much aware of it. I remember the TV adverts and just the feeling it gave you. So that whole factor for me, it's a favourite in terms of a memory. we all know that it could do with more Oblivion, so I just can't sit here and say that's a favourite ride, but it's definitely a favourite something.
I can understand with the favourite rides, because there's certain rides that I can't really say are my favourite, but there's an element in it that makes me think I really like that part of the ride. But then there's another ride that I think, oh, I like that part of that ride, and I struggle saying which one's my favourite, but I do prefer.
I've got like joint third, probably obvious which two they are. One's no longer with us, and one's a Smiler.
Anyone in the comments,
No
what's
longer
your
with us,
favourite
that
one in
sounds
Alton
bad.
Towers as well? Just
I think
just to
everyone's going to
pretend
say
that it's
Nemesis,
still
aren't
there,
they?
but if it's not Nemesis, other than Nemesis, because it's
I
not
can say
open
Nemesis
at
if
the
they
minute.
I think if the inversions it had in its theme and its style, but it spread out and took you on more of a journey rather than being stuck in a plot.
Yeah.
It would take it hands down. But I think in the way that Nemesis just takes you around and in the way that it does. So you know, that's why to me they're just, it's hard to decide between Nemesis and the Smiler.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Retro Squad, since we're talking about X Sector still?
I don't know, they're fun. They're sort of fun. I mean, I don't know. They're rubbish, really, aren't they? Gio's favourite flat ride on Towers is Funk and Fly. So, I mean, in terms of a young person's opinion, that ride does well, yeah. I suppose it looks presentable and it matches Galactica a little bit, you know. So that kind of works there, doesn't it? Yeah. Spin Jam, I don't know. It's quite fun, I suppose. Twistertron, horrendous. And what was the other one called now? The one that's not there anymore.
The Waltzer, that was mixtape, wasn't it?
The Waltzer, the spinny one, that was just ridiculous, you know. So I don't know. I think they need to work out who they're appealing to and just choose the right rides, really.
I don't know the guy's name, but the guy from Triple Focus Media, who you know, says you'll remember when he lost his phone on Rita. Did he get it back?
Clearly, and I still sort of look to this day.
What? Did he get it back?
And I'm sort of looking. It's got to be here somewhere. It'd probably be under like hands with soil now.
Was it all in one piece as well?
No, he didn't get it back. It's under some soil.
Like, oh my gosh.
I didn't even think Rita was fast enough to do that, but it did. Yeah. Madness. Yeah, he had us looking around Dark Forest for ages.
And this is why they sell hoodies with zip pockets in the merchandise.
Do they sell hoodies? They got the odd one. They don't do it very often.
No, but this is why. Got zip pockets.
Also, what I was thinking about this when I was asking about Zamperla Disco. What's your thoughts on a Zamperla Disco at Towers?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I was going to ask for you to mull over, and the people in the chat as well. What? I suppose no queue line you want to wait in a lot, but what queue line do you think? What ride do you think's got the best queue line if you're going to have to wait? Because I know I don't like waiting in the Smiler one.
The Smiler one, we can't say the Smiler's a good queue line. It's like being in a cattle pen. It's like literally being
in a cattle pen.
But it literally totally is, isn't it? I mean, it's obviously fun to look at the Smiler. That's totally different. But it's not. Can't say that it's very well themed. They've done well there to make it how it looks, but it's not that well themed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Theming in this country, I think, isn't great. I mean, it's all a cattle pen over a normal sort of style flooring, isn't it? Really, and then you walk into maybe a nice style building, sort of like the Swarm, or I mean, the Smiler's it's sort of a great interior, but in some senses, it's not. It's just done well, isn't it? It's really done.
I think the Hex. I know it looks like a cattle pen, but the Hex queue, because you've got all those artifacts and things in the build-up of the story.
They were so lucky to be able to do that on the same sort of limited budget because it was already exactly what they needed to be, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Hex story in itself. If you visit, of course, you visited the Chained Oak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally, you know.
It is amazing.
Gangster Granny, someone's put in the comments there, but
yeah, Gangster Granny's a good one.
To be fair, it's all right. You know, as a kid, actually, that probably is, one of the best themed. But even on the outside, cattle pen floor.
Even with like the little doggy door though, and like if you look at the wallpaper with the crown, it's got the Alton Towers in the crown as well on the wallpaper. Like just little details like that. And you don't get things like that with some.
Simple Wizard used to have those interactions in the queue line, didn't it?
Didn't they fix some of those?
But they were great, they were. For waiting about, I think actually it would make it easier for us to wait if we had little things to interact with like that.
Yeah. They do it with a lot of the CBeebies, don't they, as well, like the CBeebies rides. But,
we're not going to be going on those very often.
no, but I'm just saying that's they've got them for the little ones, but not for the big kids.
So, what did you think about? I've asked everyone who's been on since it opened. What did you think about the curse? I'm guessing you went on opening day. Yeah, you did go on opening day. I've seen the vlog.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of one of those people that anything but Jewel, really, anything was going to be better than Jewel. For the reasons, I remember it being a haunted house, but I know that these days kids are they're a bit desensitized. They're not really as scared about things. Things don't hit quite as hard these days as what they would have done for me. Like Ghostbusters was enough for me to be a bit scared when I was younger. Yeah. So I think that really, I was a bit nervous that haunted houses had sort of had their day a little bit. So I didn't want to see a Jewel, so I was a bit concerned about what they were going to bring back instead. But like I say, because that's just nostalgia, but it'd be selfish of me to have something back based on nostalgia, if kids enjoy the gun thing, who am I to say? But anyway, I mean, the curse really is exactly what it needed to be. The first ride we had, there was it did seem like less effects were working. And when I went on again recently, I felt like it was much more full. So I suppose it depends when you go, when you ride. But the last ride I had was surprising, and it just ticked every box, to be honest with you. The dark spots, we can't argue that's a bit of an issue. They're too long for hide and seek or whatever the purpose is. But I think it's a great ride. We're lucky to have it.
What did you think about? I don't know if you probably had this as well, but when people go on about the dark spots or things that weren't quite right, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, they've said they're going to add to it," and I kind of felt like, I don't know if you agree. It seems a bit of a cop out to always go, "Oh yeah, well we're going to add to it."
It's that limited budget again, isn't it? It's just it's always there's always a limit, and you can just see it. I can see it. We're lucky for what we got, definitely, but
I feel like it marketed itself, because I don't know about you, but the amount of rumours that got stretched while it was closed and being done, it was almost like these rumours haven't come from Alton Towers. People have just speculated and then told other people and told other people. And I don't know if you heard many rumours about it, but the kind of ride some people were expecting, I can understand why they might not have liked what they got.
Yeah, well, actually, that's funny, because when I'd seen the pictures that got released, I was I was like, oh God, here we go. Emily and her toys just aren't going to cut it. And the only sort of bit of confidence I had was John Wardley, you see, yeah. So it lowered my expectancies, even though the pictures were great. It showed the theme in the doll's house that you go through. It was all great. Yeah. The picture was great, but I just felt like it was missing something. Of course, it was missing the experience of actually being on it. Totally different seeing a picture, isn't it? But it lowered my expectancies. So when I went on it and I queued for 2 hours for it as well, I was told it was technical difficulties. So apparently they were waiting for John Wardley to come out and do his thing, which is ridiculous.
Oh, is that what it was?
For 2 hours before from 9 a.m. because we wanted to get in. I didn't mind waiting for that hour. If the ride opened at 10, I was quite happy to stand from 9 till 10. Didn't bank on standing there from 9 till 11. The person that was with me into the toilet, so I was like, this in my ear. Need the toilet, I'm going to go. I said, you can't walk back there. It's 2 hours worth of queue that you're going to have to walk through anyway. So we managed in the end. 11 o'clock it opened. But yeah, I mean, it was worth it in the end. So my expectancies were lowered, and then it made me enjoy it even more, like you said.
But going back to that opening time, there's something I also want to ask you, but because you talked about the opening time, did you hear all the speculation that it was meant to open, and I'm glad it didn't, open at midday?
It was meant to open at midday?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying it, because if you saw the pop-up event that some people got to go to, there was a clock that said that was at 12 o'clock. So everyone was going, understandably so, I guess. So everyone was going, oh, it's going to open at midday.
But obviously,
luckily it didn't.
It was New Year's.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
you know what though? I'd seen that 12 actually in one of the videos that came up about the promotion thing in London in that house. I seen the 12 and I thought, God, I hope they're not putting an age restriction on it. Well, I didn't see that underneath it. It said midnight. Yeah, underneath the number 12 in UV.
Oh, it said midnight.
It said midnight, so I just missed that, But actually, I think it's more to do with the fact it's midnight, and then you leave the ride. The last clock is 12:05, isn't it? So you're leaving the ride after having done the 5-minute experience.
Yeah.
And because you brought him up, I'm not saying whether you like him or not, but what do you think about the way John Wardley's used to get enthusiasts to invest?
How do you mean?
Was in like the thing down at London, and then
no, I mean like John Wardley is kind of wheeled out or mentioned, and I feel like the general public, a lot of them probably don't know him as well as enthusiasts. So I always feel like they're using him to get enthusiasts to invest in the product, almost like, oh, John Wardley's involved, or John Wardley's going to be here now, and then suddenly it's like,
have you read his book?
I've got it.
Yeah,
I've got it and I've not read it yet.
Right, so, I mean, actually, if you, I think it says a lot about him in his book. I don't think he would have it any other way. Right, so I think he's there. Whether he's, you know, he's a really fit, you know, older gentleman, isn't he? And he's so passionate about his job that, yeah, I'm sure there's an element of gain for Merlin to have John Wardley there, but actually, I think there's always been more gain for John to have Merlin as well. It's obviously an equal balance. So I just don't think that John Wardley would want to have it any other way, especially with the likes of Nemesis and the Haunted House. I think he's there strictly because he wants to be. He retired, I know that much. And then he did come back for fun. And I'm pretty sure that if you were in his position, you would find it hard to get away from it yourself too. So I think it's all the verses that make a big scene about it. And of course, if you see, I'm pretty sure John loves the attention. And it says it in his book, I think.
Oh, he does. He does bad looks of it. But, yeah.
I don't know if it's the next question is going to be offensive.
That's because hopefully one of these days I will read the book.
Do you think Merlin need to promote someone else in the industry for when John's no longer able to be there?
I don't think it's necessary as such. I don't think he can match the. I mean, at the end of the day, John's from a different time, isn't he? Things were different back then. He's grown up with illusions and all sorts of different types of things. I mean, these days, the technology and stuff does it all for you, realistically. I mean, obviously, it takes some brains, but like you see, the Merlin team do good things, you know? John says that too. So, in the words of John, I think he's got faith in them and how they do things. Me, not so much. I'm a bit concerned how things are heading at the moment, but limited budgets and greediness and.
Do you want to talk about your trip on Monday?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I've come to the conclusion, you know, after having a bit of a whinge to you, that actually it's better than nothing, isn't it? Because realistically, it could have been no event. There could have been no stages. There could have been nothing. So why we all feel like it has to be something spectacular all the time, I don't know, is asking quite a lot. But compared to the last Festival of Thrills, really, I feel like the last Festival of Thrills was a nice experience. It just needed adding to. You could kind of appreciate that being a first event, it was going to be, you know, a bit bleak. But again, you know, it's back to the limited budget. That, you know, it's just so obvious to everybody that there is a limit, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, there should be, if they're going to do an event, they should do it properly, or, you know, invest in permanent features in the park that are going to, you know, make it look better. You know, I just think something like this is a bit of a waste. The events they do have, they need to work on those. Scarefest, fireworks, you know, those need to be ploughed in. I'm not really a big fan of Oktoberfest and Mardi Gras. Gio loves Mardi Gras, but this is definitely the weakest event of the year. You could go as far as saying it's not an event; it's just a nice, fun interaction. It should be like that. That's the stand. That's how a theme park should be. You know, there should be that interaction with the guests and stuff, and fun and shows more often. But realistically, they've got all these stages that aren't free. They've got a massive stage on the lawn, and that stage should have been used at the very least. There's nothing coming into Tower Street apart from these yellow banners on the posts, as you see, and it was just, I don't know, but it was engaging for the kids as well. And this is the other thing. So the one problem we have with X Sector is there's nothing for Gio, especially now, you know, without Enterprise. So he's happy to watch, but it's always an issue if we have to queue, which is another reason why we find it a struggle to queue. But things like this in the picture now, if that was there permanently, which, you know, I don't know, maybe it might end up being there permanently, but if it was, Gio would play on that while we were on the ride, you know. But yeah, it's just, I felt like it was not so age appropriate for the people that would be going on the Smiler. Yeah, Gio loved it. He won a balloon, like a spider balloon off the Magician or something, but that's what we're talking about. We're talking magicians, aren't we?
Just because you mentioned about having things permanently, how would you do you feel like the current Retro Squad rides are good enough rides that if they were themed in and kept permanently where they are now?
I'd trade all of them right now for Ripsaw.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah.
All of them, they can go. I don't care. All of them, they can go. I'd have Ripsaw.
They need to bring back Ripsaw. Like, I've never heard a bad word off anyone.
What a simple ride, but it like made our trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. It was the kind of ride you could watch as
well. The
well.
log flume, to a certain extent, even though I don't really like what water rides really. The log flume made our trip, but I'd happily trade that for Wickerman. Ripsaw got, I don't know, so they should have got a modern replacement, even if it didn't feel so good. They could have done something similar, It's just it's a bit. But back then, though, as well, we didn't have so many roller coasters. So we're talking like, back when it was the Black Hole and Corkscrew.
Yes.
The staffing level of that was really quite low, and I think if you worked out the staffing level now, I think there is more staff involved in the rides they've got, because you're talking the big 7, which we didn't have that back then. So they're good trade-offs, aren't they? But I don't know, the Ripsaw, something like that should have stayed, and the others, there's no need for them.
Just to let you know that Dave's Adventures said he was on there the same day that you went as well.
Yeah,
so that's
rode
awesome.
Smiler all day.
Hi, Dave's Adventures as well.
We were equally
ignoring you.
Nice to go, oh, there's Dave, and he's like, oh, Ben. It's nice to have that mutual side.
It's lovely.
I do miss Ripsaw. I miss seeing it at night because it had lights along it on the bottom as well.
Yeah, didn't it have it in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I think, if I remember rightly, more often than not, you wouldn't get wet, yeah? It might just touch your head or something like that. But I remember there was a time, actually, which, and I think a friend is watching at the moment, and he'll remember it. And they just absolutely soaked us with it, lowered down into this sphere, and it just carried on, yeah. And we come off it like so surprised as regulars.
I just remember that all of my friends would dread to go on it, because if it was someone's birthday when you were sat on that group on the ride, that's when you're definitely going to get a good soaking.
Yeah, so you know what? I've noticed I get targeted a lot actually on water rides. Whether it's those paid-for cannons or whatever, I know that someone's going to look at me and think, oh, we're in, right? So I reckon that's what happened on that day. If they get the choice between how much they squirt, then I reckon that's what's happened there.
Yeah.
Coming a mile. But I do miss it.
And so this new stamp thing, you stamped it near the big 6, I believe, and then you can enter the competition.
I mean, this in itself shows the age we are attracting here, yeah? This sort of system is set in Chessington, and you do stamps and you sort of
Warwick Castle as well.
Yeah, so it's lovely, isn't it, for Gio? Look at him, he loves it. He was running around like a blue fly to each one, yeah? And that kept him engaged. That's great, because it's not often like that in Exeter, like I said. But this sort of is an example of the age range that the entertainment and the additional theming is appealing to, And I just don't think that's right, and it could have been a nice mixture of both if they still had the stages from last year plus this. I don't know, maybe I'd have been happier.
Oh, just to let you know, Trekking Taylors were there too.
Yeah, I've seen the vlog.
And then James along with James.
I was just going to quickly ask, I've not got a photo, but I've seen a photo from someone else. What did you think of the scattered theming? Like, there was a bit in front of Wickerman, and a lot of people have said how it ruins the theming of Wickerman to stick something like that in front of it. I don't know what you thought about that.
I mean, I wasn't that bothered about it. I don't think I looked at it and thought that shouldn't be there, because I've seen it in other people's vlogs and they were not best pleased about it. But I think I was just happy to see something. I knew that it didn't look right. I knew that it didn't fit. I think I actually said in my vlog, I was like, oh, that's a bit strange, But it wasn't a takeover. It just wasn't enough,
Would you have liked to take over?
And they were just so random. The set pieces were just so random. I don't know. It was just cheap and cheap and knocked together quick.
Do you think it's not finished yet?
Well, I don't see what more they can add.
Because I feel like they're just gearing up for at least the first weekend. So maybe they opened it on Monday thinking trick some people into coming in thinking there's an event.
That would be ridiculous. Bad publicity, that is. It's not the right way to do things if that's the way it is. But I think they need to double their budget at least.
But she's kind of like, I'm asking you both of you, Mike, and obviously you, Ben, or anyone in the chat. Do you think, like with last year, in terms of Festival of the Thrills, they had obviously each those stands, and I bet some people have gone, oh, we wish the stages were a bit more interactive, and this is what we've got basically. So now they are being fully interactive, but they kind of had like the one with the 13 one with I'm trying to think of the band, Glow Band.
Oh yeah, Glow.
And they had the
Lunafull,
people on the roller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the roller girls basically.
I think the budget's less than last year.
They were quite that, but then obviously if it's a budget, you can work with what you can work with. But because people probably mentioned about last year, do you think this is the outcome of this year? Because people complained last year, maybe.
No, I think the budget was less this year, and I think they wanted to tie it in with Smiler rather than celebrate the anniversary separately. But Track and Taylors have said, Ben, that people have said they're adding more stuff. They've added more stuff today.
Ooh.
I just think it's got to be more of the same. It'd be interesting to see. I can't really comment on what I've not seen, but I'm not excited to see. Well, I'm excited to see more if there would be, but
I was thinking
it's a low. One thing I will say about it is that I feel like a theme park like that, unless they're going to invest in high quality entertainment, because the entertainment, they're great. The entertainers, they'd be fantastic at a wedding or a small venue. Pub or anything like that. I've got experience and all that sort of stuff. They're great people, lovely, bonny, energetic entertainers that are fantastic.
Yeah, they are.
But we all think Alton Towers is this special, magical place. I still feel it. We love it there so much. And it's like you see in these entertainers that would come from a much smaller venue coming in, it's totally obvious to everybody. And I just feel like it's better to not do it. If they did it properly, then fine. But if they're not going to do it properly, I feel like it's actually damaging to their reputation, you know? As a business, that's my belief in this whole. You're better off without it unless you can do it to a good enough standard that's going to match your needs. You know.
So is the big stage being used then?
No, I don't think it is it?
It's such a waste.
That's what. Would you have been happier if they just had stuff on the main stage rather than put it in next sector?
Well, it made a difference, but I think there should have been one of those performers should have just been on the stage. It wouldn't have cost any more, surely.
Yeah.
But it's better, I'm talking it down here, aren't I? It's easy to get deep into it and sort of look at what needs to happen and stuff. But it's definitely better than nothing, isn't it? I just think it's marketed wrong because it's not a festival of thrills. They don't even need to market it. Let's say, for example, they hadn't created an event, but you turned up one day and all of this stuff was just there.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, wow, in the summer holidays, something like that, where the kids are going to be there. And you turn up as a parent and you're just like, oh, wow, I didn't expect this,
Why didn't they just call it Smiler's birthday celebration? Because that's effectively why they're doing it, isn't it? But yeah.
See, we've all got a bit down about this event. So, would you like a bit of a quiz, Ben? Would that cheer you up?
I don't know if I'm going to be good at it.
It's pretty simple. I've got a small quiz about the Smiler, and then I've got a photo quiz as well, which people in the comments can help you as well.
If anyone's aware, I can't see the comments at the minute, so just.
Oh, I can flash them up.
Oh yeah. Just need to keep them.
Oh God, it's that number, isn't it? Was it like 7 + 7? Or
something? While we're on the subject, while we're on the subject of this, I don't know if you felt anything, but when the Smiler opened and was about to open, the way they used the grammar of world beating coaster never sat right with me. It just didn't seem like it sounded right. I don't know if you felt anything like that.
World beating.
It wasn't like a world first or anything like that. Just world beating sounded a bit odd because it's always been world first. Or
paid for it. So I've got pictures actually of when. I've got pictures of the construction site somewhere on my Facebook. I have to dig them out, but yeah, from a very special view.
Oh, he's not allowed to release those. They're in the vault.
Oh.
Are we going with the number I think you're going with?
14.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
For centuries.
How much does Smiler cost? According to Google.
Wasn't it 20 million?
Down.
15.
Up.
18.
Yeah.
Or 18, but yeah. I was like, wait, I can't say anything.
They all cost about that, don't they? Ish.
Well, you hear that, and then they change the numbers later on. But yeah, 18 million. NF Attractions got it.
Attractions.
Which manufacturer made the Smiler?
Is it Intimate? No. You're asking the wrong person here. I'm trying to think back to Theme Park Worldwide's bloody vlogs here now. I like to try and think.
Manufacturer.
Who made Saw?
Ew.
Oh mate, I should know. I know. It's just you put me on the spot with this now. Oh.
I thought you'd know. I thought these were all.
Getting myself.
Knox is here.
Everybody's got so much pressure now.
Attractions.
Attractions.
Don't have an answer.
What's that?
Anybody put it in the comments? What's the
yeah, Knox has put it. Guess now.
I thought it was just blurting out good.
What I'm gonna say is, right, I just want to say before anyone answers this question, I googled this on several different websites because someone messaged you last week and said the opposite of what the actual answer is. And I was like, okay, that person knows what they're talking about. And I googled this so much. So if it is still wrong, I apologize.
I think they were joking.
But I've googled this over and over again because I was like, your friend said it was the other way around, and it's not.
I do wonder if they're taking the theory, but yeah.
But which one is faster? Higher top speed, not acceleration.
The obvious question to me, the obvious answer to me would be Rita, but I feel like there's a reason why this is a question.
This I'm asking for the top speed, not the acceleration.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, Rita's in kilometres an hour, so I mean, so is the Smiler, isn't it? So yeah, Rita's the faster roller coaster there, definitely. What?
Yeah, so Rita, yeah.
Yeah, Rita. Oh yeah.
Rita.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Oblivion's the fastest coaster.
Yeah. Smiler's what, 45 kilometres an hour, isn't it?
Is it?
Smiler speed's there. The Smiler speed's at the bottom, if you can see it.
Oh, the yellow's the
yellow's the Smiler and the
Okay,
red's Rita.
Yeah, 452 miles an hour. Sure.
Which ride one's still on the site of the Smiler?
Black Hole.
Oh, he's knowing his stuff.
That got me on that. That got me into the coaster.
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy.
Look at the POV of it now. You'd question why it got me into coasters, but I remember as a kid it just being amazing. I suppose we didn't know.
What was your first ever sort of roller coaster that you went on?
I think it would have been the Black Hole and then the Corkscrew. You know, I think if I remember rightly, the Black Hole you could go on when you were younger.
Yeah.
Daughter. I don't know. I might be wrong about that because I was young. I remember sitting in between my dad's legs on that one.
Mm. It is a small,
different time.
A smaller sort of coaster and restraints, isn't it? Than
Totally different.
Definitely smaller than Corkscrew. In terms of,
so this one's going to be a bit more fun, and if you don't know it, people in the comments will tell you. But basically, I've spelt the Smiler with letters from logos of different rides, and I just want to know what the rides are. Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Well, that's Subterra, is it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The toe. Yeah.
There's 13 Stealth.
He's getting them. He's getting them.
Yeah.
That water ride called a bloody Storm Surge, is it? No. Yeah. No.
Different park.
Oh.
I don't actually think we've been on this. I think I know what it is. I just can't think. It's just because I've been put on the spot here now. Move on to the next one. I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea what that is with the M.
Is that mandrills?
I don't know. Is it?
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, since you said it out loud, the M is Mandrill Mayhem. Yeah.
There you go. What was the S then?
Oh, you want to know? I don't know if anyone wants to guess the S.
Anyone want to put the S?
All right, let them guess. Am I right moving on? Am I just making?
What's the I?
Don't know really.
Think of the colour.
I want to say Galactica.
Oh.
No.
But it's not, is it?
Yeah, NF Attractions got it. Stormforce 10 from Drayton Manor is the S.
It's just a standard I performance, isn't it? It's not the best. Yeah,
So what's the one that I kept saying that was a nice ride?
Do you want to move on to the L?
Yeah, well, it's a Smiler, is it?
Yes, Smiler, yeah.
It's I-L.
I is not air, no.
Oh.
E. What do you think the E is? I had to rotate that.
What is it? Is it? I'm guessing now. Is it the big one?
Yes.
Yay.
Can you guess what the R is?
Saw the ride.
Nah, right park.
Swarm.
Yeah. Throwaway got it. Throwaway know everything about thought. Anyone know what the I is?
Not regulars. When we regulars at Alton Towers, they ring a bell a bit more.
The I. You're going to kick yourself.
Well, they guessed it, didn't they? Go on, what is it?
I've not seen anyone guess what the I is.
Anyone know what the I is in the comments? Just give him a couple of seconds to...
Just think about the colours of it.
Oh, blue. Is it based on a water ride?
No. Do you want to see the answers and I'll let everyone know?
I don't actually want to see the answers. You made me want to answer them.
Oh, hang on, guys. See what they put. Do you actually know it or do you not?
I think someone in the comments probably got Google up on
I
another
know,
page.
you guys are all Googling it now. It's not Thomas, is it?
No. If I said the park, it would be obvious what ride it is.
Oh.
It's like almost, I wouldn't say flagship, but it's one of the bigger rides.
Well, we've had Drayton, Chessington.
Do you Do you want to see the answers, Ben?
I'm going to have to see the answers, aren't I?
I don't know anyone in the comments.
They've
I haven't got a clue.
I just realised that it's spelled with a smiler.
What's that? Flight of
Flight of the Skyline.
So what did I say? Storm surge? All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but you're close enough with Water Ride, wasn't it? The Sick wasn't a bad shout, to be fair.
I've not been there, so I'd never get that.
Not that swing ride at Drayton. Good guess though, Leo, on that one. I actually thought of that. I thought that Maelstrom, and I thought I don't think it's got an I in it, but I can't remember if I'm spelling it.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't do too badly there.
That's good, yeah.
It's quite good.
I don't know.
Everyone in the comments, well done as well. If you got all them.
If anyone's got any questions about anything, they can ask. But
Yeah, ask away.
I showed a bit of this in the highlights video. But do you want to tell us about your trip to Apex Kart with your eldest?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we're very competitive as a family anyway. Only in a fun way, of course. But I don't let the kids win. Well, in saying that, Gio gets to pick, easy, medium, and hard level. But if he picks hard, he won't beat me, of course. But yeah, so we went, just me and Caden actually, which was nice. He needs that time as well. Yeah, we went about half an hour, 15 minutes each. And we hadn't been for a while actually. We've been putting all our time into theme parks, which is fantastic. We thought we'd go. We've not been for a couple of years. But he was a bit younger and lighter then. I think he maybe he was on a slower cart, yeah. He likes to think he was on a slower cart, but he probably was on a slower cart. So it wasn't evenly matched then. And of course, I was lapping him. So it was nice for him to actually get going, and he was doing quite well, to be fair. You'll see people I'm overtaking in the go-karts, but they're not actually Caden. Caden's quite good. He's quite far behind me. So he was one of the people he overtook, but then he sort of kept up and couldn't overtake me at points, I think.
Oh, is it in Sandycroft?
D-side, isn't it? D-side.
I don't know. Coastal with the Joneses asking because I think they're in the area.
D-side, Sandycroft. It is close to Sandycroft, isn't it? I think it is more D-side though, so it's called Chester, but I think it is D-side, yeah.
Oh, do you want to explain why you're called Hush Hush Family? Throwaway for asking.
Well, so basically, I mean, Hush Hush started as a DJ brand, and actually it was born just before COVID, so it never got the chance to hit a venue, and there was lots of plans and stuff. We did a lot of online DJ events and stuff like that. And then when sort of COVID came back, I sort of felt like I owed it to the family to get them out and about and sort of live life a little bit. So the DJ life sort of got left behind. And in that sort of time, I loved the brand, loved everything about it. All the DJs that were involved were fantastic. So I just felt like I owed it to the brand, but to myself to keep it alive. So we were the Hush Hush Family. We always called ourselves the Hush Hush Family because we were proud of the brand and more our own merchandise anyway. So we just decided that was going to be the way it was, But you sort of do say hush. We sort of said hush hush now to Gio when he was younger. So there's many ways you can look at it, but it was born as a DJ brand and sort of evolved into this because obviously the family came first,
That's cool. I like that. I like the meaning behind it. It's really nice.
The Joneses are from Connors Quay.
Yeah, not far from this.
Yeah. I don't know if you tuned in early enough, but your joke of the week was on at the start of the show, Joneses, and I'll put your links in the description. And if anyone missed it, go back later on and see. It was a cracking joke. That was.
Thrillway Studios just said awesome story. Thanks, Ben.
Enjoyed it.
Oh.
Are we allowed to know what your next vlog's going to be?
Our next what?
Vlog.
Next vlog.
Yeah.
God, well, we are heading to Flamingo Land soon. I think we've got a trip due to Alton Towers without vlogging because sometimes it's nice to actually leave the camera at home and just get out there and enjoy it. But I think our next vlog will be Flamingo Land, and that's in May.
I've got another little fun thing.
I went to York as a kid with school, I think, and
I've
been dragged back to the blooming cathedral to see this. For goodness sake, I just want 2 days in the theme park. I'm sure the kids will too. Yeah.
Cathedral was probably nice, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sure it'd be lovely, but I've seen it before.
It's quite grand.
Speculation on Nemesis Subterra. I think it's opening again.
Yeah, but do you know what? If they open that with exactly the same show, right, in exactly the same state, if it's exactly the same, I'm just not going to be happy. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think many people are going to be happy, really. It's just kind of detract.
I enjoyed it. And Nemesis Subterra as it was will be better than no Subterra because I've always questioned why it's not there. But I so hope because all the pre-show videos I've seen that were stood by the gate looking over the fence, it's all been exactly what it was. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just don't think that's right. You know, I hope that's just like teasing us, and there'll be a nice new story.
You do with a lot of changes.
New story, just a bit different, yeah.
I thought it'd be cool if they just ripped out the drop tower in there, or if you can call it a drop tower, and put like another flat ride in, but didn't tell anyone they did it. Managed to do it on the quiet. You go in and it's like, hang on, this isn't the same. That'd be cool. Stick a waltzer in there in the dark. I miss that. Drayton Manor had a ride called the Revolver.
Because they'll probably take it on board. They'd love your idea for that, wouldn't they? Nice
I think the only thing that put me off with Subterra was the bit at the back, in the back.
Oh yeah, I always leant forward.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, when that opened, it was a good ride. I mean, obviously, we're all going to get bored of everything. You know, it's repeated. It's never going to be the same. But I enjoyed that ride. You know, it added to the Nemesis story, and it should have always been open for the people that have never been to Alton Towers, because we're not the most important guests that go there. It's the people. It's the others. You know, the people that just feel the magic. The people that magic isn't diminishing because they go all the time. You know.
I think it's because we've lost it for a while as well, with obviously having the years that we do not name COVID, but like, because all of that has been shut down, then obviously it's nice to get new people and new people with new magic.
NF has told us apparently the staff have said it's opening on the 27th of May, but I also want to go to what Coasting with the Joneses said. Hopefully it ties in with the story better for Nemesis rebrand, which I hope it does as well. And Nox
I do.
Talking, but what I want to show you I found funny, and I've got another little, it's not really a game, but I've got something else set up. But first, I was searching, I was going to get more complicated Smiler facts at one point, but I didn't for that quiz. And you know, when you go on Google and you ask it a question, it comes up with similar questions. And I'm thinking, who asked this question? So I'm going to put it on this is a screenshot of what I got on Google.
I specifically asked this man not to ask me enthusiastic questions.
Oh, no. It's got the answer as well.
However, I'm okay. That's fine. I'm happy to answer your questions. But if everybody just knows,
if I told you someone's asked on Google apparently a really weird question about the Smiler, what is the most outrageous question do you think they could ask?
Oh, I don't know.
Would it be, does the Smiler spray laughing gas?
That's a bit. Well, I can see why. I
love the fact it's got an answer. Please note due to health and safety, laughing gas is not used. Instead, it's water vapor. Also, since the Smiler was open, the use of laughing gas for recreational purposes has become illegal.
I remember when this sounds random.
Someone's asked that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought that was hilarious.
I can sort of see why they didn't like it. If you have any common sense about you, you'd know that that's not going to happen anyway, wouldn't you?
It's just weird that was like, you say how old is it? Has all those questions on Google if you ask it a question about something, and it was just like, hang on, what? It's the Smilers. There was an answer to it, but I've got something a bit fun that I'm going to try and do every week that I've added to the show. Yeah, they thought it was funny. There's still questions you get, but I'm going to call it Roller Coaster Rewind for now. I don't know if that's a good name. If it's not, someone can think about. Basically, I've come up with 3 little facts you might not know to kind of be a bit interesting, maybe educate you and the people at home. But I've given them kind of a bit of a headline for each one. You pick a headline, and that's the one I'll read out this week. The other 2 will get carried over to next week's guest.
Okay.
So it's not a quiz in any way, but these are the headlines we've got. We've got First for a Second, White Knuckle Rides, or Life is a Roller Coaster.
What have I got to do? Pick one.
Just pick one, and it's just a headline for a fact I've found out.
Life is a roller coaster.
Oh, that's yeah, okay. That's the morbid one. Okay, this fact. Thorpe Park opened officially to the public on 24th of May 1979 by Lord Louis Mountbatten. His final public appearance before being assassinated by a bomb whilst boarding a fishing boat in Ireland. So if you didn't know that, that's a fact.
Gosh.
The other 2 facts were quite fun. I didn't think you'd pick that one.
That is certainly wow. Okay.
But there'll be more of that next week to look forward to.
Wowzers. Hopefully more positive ones.
And next week it'll be Coaster Dad's decision. I'll put his link in the description as well.
Yay!
He's going to be on some. He did a road trip recently. That's skewed a bit from me laughing. It's been he's done a 7 parks and 7 days road trip because he lives in Bonnie, Scotland. So he had to come down. Done over 1,000 miles. So we're going to be talking about that. Was Valhalla open for him? Find out about that. But and also we talked about the black hole earlier. on Monday. We'll be back at 7 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Black Hole versus the Ultimate. If you missed it this week, I've put a link in for the past episode. But we've got Daryl Morgan, we've got the Trekking Taylors, Thrill Wave, and David Blythe, and we have a big discussion for half an hour, and then we look in the chat as well, and then we each have a vote. Well, not me. Each have a vote and see which ride goes through. I think I've still got the bracket. For anyone who didn't watch the show,
Please don't make it a tie.
That was the bracket from the show. Obviously, Loggers Leap lost to Corkscrew on Monday. Spoiler alert. The Black Hole and Ultimate, and there's a few other rides there, but that's a lot of fun.
The Black Hole and Ultimate will be discussed next Monday.
Next Monday, yeah. So if you want to
7
see that, if you want to have your say and try and convince them who to vote for. Oh, they love a Morbid Fact and they love Thorpe Park. So that was specifically for Thrill Wave and no one else.
That changed the mood. I'm glad you're still smiling though, Ghosty, with the Genesis.
Yeah. If anyone didn't want spoilers, there's spoilers for the past episode. But go watch it. It was a lot of fun. I've put Hush Hush Family, Instagram and YouTube in the description. But is there any other stuff you want to mention before we wrap things up?
No, I think that's it really. I've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure.
It's been good, yeah.
Go like and subscribe. All the details are down there. And follow.
But yeah, it's been good. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left if anyone wants to ask a question. But yeah, it's been good.
I just want to say a huge thank you for everyone taking their time out just to watch our channel, because there's so many of you right now.
It's a proper channel now. We've got programming.
Absolutely awesome. So it's just from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. It means so much. Just obviously don't forget to like us. Share all you like as well to other like-minded enthusiasts as well that want to join in.
Go and watch Hush Hush.
Yeah.
And go and watch.
Do it.
I've not put the link in the description, but Trekking Taylors have put some new stuff up recently, and they've got their live on tomorrow, Friday.
Yes.
6:30. I'll be watching that, and hopefully, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people where I'll be at the weekend.
You can.
Be at Alton Towers, so I'll see some of you there.
We're not going to be a duo though, are we? So.
No, we're not.
But
we've got something special happening. Well, I don't know if it's special. There's something special happening to our logo over the weekend.
Oh! So watch this space. We'll leave it there for now.
Good job.
We know the catchphrase.
Did you want to tell us a fun fact about Triple Focus Media before we wrap things up? He's a new guy in the chat who knows you.
He's probably a best friend of mine, yeah. I don't say that lightly, you know. He's actually out in Honduras at the moment.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
But I've not been able to see his comments. So I can just see one now. Good job, guys. I'm glad he's enjoyed it, yeah. But no,
is he a DJ as well?
No, he's a videographer, a diving videographer. He dives and photographer as well, you know. Living the life he is, a luxury, yeah.
Is he on Instagram?
Yeah, I think you'll have to search him, Triple Focus Media. He'll be there. Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, I'll have a look.
It's for YouTube, I believe, but it's a shame that I can't release that yet. If he'd have been quicker, I would have been able to give him a plug for that. You've missed out there.
But on the day that we found out that someone asked Google if there was laughing gas being emitted from the Smiler, do you know our catchphrase before we go?
I don't know your catchphrase now.
Oh, so we'll see you
in the review.
Because for now,
we're gone.
Bye.